So like I said in the disclaimer, this is just all my opinion. So please just don't attack me. If you have a different opinion, you could just say in the comment section below. That's totally fine with that. I'm okay with that. So just don't attack me, because this is just my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, like you see in the title, why Princess Vivi is a better princess than Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm just gonna be saying something why I think Princess Vivi is a better princess than Elizabeth. It's in the title if you didn't see it somehow. Like Luffy asked Vivi to join her crew, and then she declined because her country needed her. Because it's true, her country did need her. Because they were just done with the Civil War. And usually, when you're done with the war, it takes time for you to cope with it. Like, there's destruction, you need reconstruction. Like, everybody's mental state was like unbalanced because they found out that crocodile used them and tricked them. So that's understandable. And because Vivi just couldn't just leave and just she couldn't just leave and live the pirate life because she wanted to join, but her country needed her. So she declined to be part of Luffy's crew. But in the Straw Hats' eyes, like Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Usopp, and Nami's eyes, she's always part of the Straw Hat as part of her crew, like in their eyes, even though she's not like physically there. You could say mentally or something. So yeah, and her country needed her, and so she stayed. So that's understandable because she needed to do that because her country literally just suffered a whole great civil war and just found out they've been tricked and been used, and that will mess up a person's mind and they will just blame themselves. So they need to move on, and they just couldn't just move on like that. So they needed Vivi to like help them push forward to learn from that mistake they did. So and then Elizabeth, when she heard the Seven Deadly Sins was going to leave, she wanted to join. She wanted to go. She continued going on adventures with them. Like Vivi wanted to continue going on adventures with the Straw Hat, but her country needed her. So Elizabeth wanted to continue going on adventures with the Seven Deadly Sins. But Meliodas said it's best if you stay here because you really so you wouldn't be in much danger. And because Meliodas cared for her, and Meliodas couldn't always protect her like all the time, so it was best for her to stay in her country, Leonis. I think that's the name. I forgot. So she needed to stay, and they also suffer like you could think of like they almost suffer like a whole destruction to the whole country. So they because Meliodas defeated the Dravas, and they also found out that the Seven Deadly Sins weren't the ones to blame for for everything. They've been framed. So that will really do something to somebody's like mental state, and like the whole country's mental state was really unbalanced, you could say, and the whole country was in destruction. It needed to be fixed. So she couldn't just go on adventures with them. But when they were about to leave, when she Meliodas hopped out and said, "I didn't fulfill my promise yet because their promise was to collect all the seven deadly sins, and she technically didn't fulfill it yet because there were like six of them. They still had Esconol left, so he needed to fulfill his promise. So he took no, he took Elizabeth to find Esconol, And then that's when, of course, Elizabeth she went with him. But the thing is, our country needed her, and she could have stayed at that pinnacle of time. It was really one of those times she needed to stay in her country to help everybody. But she just left and handed the duty to her dad and her sisters, which was really, I don't think it was a smart move. They could have waited a bit, or in my opinion, but that just separates Vivi and Elizabeth, in my opinion. She could have just waited a bit. Yeah, they could have just waited like a few weeks or like maybe a few months, like until everything was looking okay. Because they just suffered a great loss to to basically finding out the seven deadly sins weren't framed, almost getting destroyed by a demon, uh, and just finding all that out and just taking that in, that could really do something to your mental health. So I think maybe she could have just waited a bit. That's just my opinion. Like maybe a few weeks, few months. Like if when everything was looking okay, then maybe she could have like left and find Escanor or something. But I just honestly think that she could have just waited a bit. She was so eager to join that she forgot that her country needed her. So I'm just saying you could disagree with me. Of course, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate, but it's just that it just separates Vivi and Elizabeth from each other because Vivi's country was calling out to her like they, they needed her, and she stayed. And when Elizabeth's country needed her, well, she didn't stay. So you could disagree or not, but hey, that's something that to think about, I guess. And of course, Elizabeth is stronger than Vivi. Like she's an actual goddess. So, like she's like the son of the basically the ruler of the whole angel. She's an actual angel. I mean, she's the daughter of the uh, she's the daughter of basically a goddess. So I so of course she's strong. Elizabeth is stronger than Vivi. That there's no doubt about that, because Vivi just has her duck, uh, or or all those earrings, like those peacock slashers, and yeah, that's all she has. And also, she has a voice. She was like, she probably could like talk no jutsu or something. I don't know, but she, of course, but because somebody's stronger, that doesn't mean they're better than the other person. Because somebody's stronger, that doesn't mean they're better than them. Like as a person, like for example, Kurama was strong, but that doesn't mean he was better as a person. Naruto made him better as a person because he talked him out of his hatred. Because he literally thought he was hatred, but Naruto talked him out of it, and he became like a better person, more you could say kinder, but still a little, but still stingier, but just a kind of person. He was, of course, he was powerful than the other Biju, because he, because the other Biju were way more nicer than Kurama. Like because you're powerful, that doesn't mean you're you're better as a person. Because some of the Bijus, like the two tails, was way more kinder than Kurama was. And even though Kurama was way more powerful than the Two Tails. So if you understand my point, because you could say, of course, I'm not declining that Vivi is weak, but Vivi's strong mentally, but maybe we'll argue about the physically part. And Elizabeth's also strong mentally and also physically. Because she literally slapped Meliodas across like walls. Even though Meliodas let her slap her. He literally slapped her, or like literally across, Jesus Christ, a whole building, to the next building. So that's really something. Even though she kind of meant it and kind of didn't, you could say. They had a little argument, but that's not the point. So and then Elizabeth, if you don't remember this, Elizabeth was about to give her whole country up for Meliodas. You're like, what do you mean? So I'm pretty sure you're gonna disagree with me or not, but I don't think I remember this too clearly, or this was just something. But remember when the only way for her to stop, for the only way for Meliodas to defeat Graven was for him to get like as much hits as possible to deactivate his magical power, for like the seven deadly sins to to like hit them all with all his magical power, and everybody else, like that was the plans, and then he could unleash his like all counter, a full his all counter, like it's a final attack. For it was like a last resort. And then Elizabeth said, "No, stop hoarding him, and stop hoarding him," because she didn't. And then when she kind of knew about the plan, she was crying. She was like so shocked. She was like, "No, no, no." She didn't want Meliodas to be her because she loved Meliodas. But that's understandable. But it was for, even though he could come back from the dead, like he could basically come back from the dead. That's so funny. True. She didn't know about it yet, and that happened in season 3. True, that's true, that's true. But that doesn't mean she just for one life, one person, you want to sacrifice like over like a million people just for one person. That's really kind of not. I just don't understand that in a way. Like I said, I just don't understand that. That's just something that, of course, I will not understand. But that's her in her way. That's her. That's what she thinks. Whatever. But she was willing to sacrifice her life for. She was willing to sacrifice her own life to save her whole kingdom, and she meant that because that's what type of person Elizabeth is. And Vivi was also willing to do that too. They are both the same and alike. They're the same and different in so many ways. So I feel like Vivi is, in my opinion, a better princess than Elizabeth. You could disagree with me. Of course, Elizabeth's more powerful, but like I said, because you're more powerful, that doesn't mean you're better as a person. You could be as strong as Naruto, but you could be had the worst attitude as Kurama. You could. It doesn't matter if you're strong, but your personality kind of matters too. Being strong also matters, but your personality as a person also matters. So, in my opinion, I just think Vivi's a better princess than Elizabeth. But this was just a quick little discussion, in my opinion. So you could disagree with me. You could completely disagree with me. You could just you could just think your opinion in the comment section below. That's your opinion. I have no problem with that. You could just say in the comment section below. You could literally you could do that. So because that's just my opinion, and everybody has an opinion. So if you don't like my opinion, I'm totally okay with that. Because I knew what I was doing as soon as I was making this video. So you could do whatever you want. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about this. In conclusion, I think Vivi is a better princess than Elizabeth. That's all, and that's all I'm gonna say. If you want more, you can just say in the comment section below. Say anything. You could say your opinion in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for any other content like this if you like it. And it's also free way to support the channel, so try doing it. It's free. What beats free, right? I guess. So yeah, and that's really all from me. So yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.